2026 is finally here, my movie peeps, and with that, it is time to look forward to a ton of new movies. And let me tell you, this year specifically is filled with so many awesome films. It was kind of tough to narrow it down to just 10 movies, and maybe I copped out a little bit because I got even 10 honorable mentions I'm going to fly by before going to the 10 that ended up on my list. But this won't just be about my opinion. Please let me know your 10 most anticipated movies down below, especially if it's one I didn't even mention in either one of my lists. It really is a stacked year, and also what ends up happening almost every year. So, all right, let's begin off then with the honorable mentions. I'm just going to kind of fly by these and spend more time with the ones that actually made it on my list. But 3 right off the bat I want to mention: Michael, Mortal Kombat 2, and Coyote vs. Acme. These are actually movies that were on my previous list. Coyote vs. Acme, heck, was on my list almost 3 times. This would have counted as the 3rd time, but every time I put it, it kept getting delayed. It almost got completely canceled. I'm not jinxing it again. Of course, I'm still looking forward to these 3 movies, but they already had a place in my most anticipated list. They just didn't happen to re-release that year. A couple other movies though: Zach Kreger's Resident Evil. Only reason it didn't really make it to the list is because I'm not the biggest Resident Evil fan, but that's also maybe a reason to get excited for this because it's not based on any of the video game stories. It's an original idea set in the winter, really supposed to play into the character just surviving every second. Zach Kreger's become one of the better horror directors, so I'm looking forward to that. Clayface. Now, this is supposed to be the first horror movie in the DCU. It is going to be rated R. Mike Flanagan wrote the script. All of that should really pop it onto the list. The only reason it's not, it's because I'm just kind of tired of solo villain movies, especially solo Batman villain movies. I'm sure this one will still be great, but I'm really just looking forward to DCU Batman. Next, Evil Dead Burn, another installment in the Evil Dead franchise. I just kind of want to know a little bit more about the plot and not just get hyped up because it is Evil Dead, but really excited for that. Dune Part 3, I think my excitement for Dune popped off with Dune 2, and that did meet expectations, and while I'm excited for Dune Part 3, I'm just kind of really looking forward to it. Violent Night Part 2, I mean, it's Santa Claus murdering a bunch of people. What else do I gotta say? I want to see the sequel to that. And Scream 7. I just really hate the toxicity that's been fueled with this movie. Scream is one of my favorite horror franchises of all time, and while this used to be a happy place in where I can just enjoy a movie, and some of you say, well, you still can't do that. Well, not when 50% of the people for the movie and 50% against the movie want to harm me either way when just bringing it up. It really sucks. That's what the fan base has become, and I really blame Spyglass for it. Hopefully, after this movie's done, they get their stuff together and we could just go back to loving Scream and Ghostface. Okay, honorable mentions out of the way. Let's go into the films that actually made it to the top 10. Starting off, number 10, Toy Story 5. I don't care. I don't care. Hey, you should have ended at Toy Story 3. Toy Story 4 ruined things. They're already back together in the tree where we're Buzz and Woody kissing. Well, then that's what I want to go see Toy Story 5 for. Will they do that? Joking aside, though, it's Toy Story. And I really do love all 4 movies. I get some people aren't as high as 4, but the other day it was on TV and I was catching glimpses of it and I was like, yo, this is really good. And that ending is pretty bold, even if it looks like they're going to step it a bit back in this 5th movie. The also plot involving toys versus electronics, I think, is very relevant. Hopefully they don't just go with a cliche route of screen time bad, Bonnie no brain rot. I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to it, and I would like to see how they justify the story and if they can get me tear-jerking one more time. Number 9 on the list, Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. I've always liked the Hunger Game franchise, but I'm kind of really loving what they're doing with this new trilogy, where it's not necessarily based on a connected story. It's more major events within the history of the Hunger Games. We got President Snow's origin story, the Darth Vader of the universe, and I actually did not mind that movie. I thought it was an interesting take on the Hunger Games world. This one is going a more traditional route and actually showing you a Hunger Games and making it the main basis of the story, it being Haymitch's games. That's Woody Harrelson's character that I always thought was an underrated part of the movies. I'm also liking the color palette and some of the actors involved. Like, I feel like who doesn't just want to see a bunch of kids try to kill each other in some big field? So I'm actually looking forward to this Hunger Game movies, and I'm curious what the 3rd movie would be about. Number 8 on my list, Robert Eggers' Werewolf. Now, look, admittedly, sometimes a Robert Eggers movie doesn't hit as hard as I would like, Nosferatu being one of them. Time. Not a movie I dislike. I actually do like that movie, but the way a lot of people talk about it, like it's an undeniable masterpiece and big game changer. Didn't feel that way with that one. Definitely felt that with like The Northman. So far, that's been my favorite Robert Eggers movie. And well, it's still undeniable. He has a very clear, distinct style. He fully immerses you in the world, is very detailed about the time period, the language, and a skirt this year. Take your bets now. I never thought Supergirl would be a movie I'm actually looking forward to, but what James Gunn has done with the DCU has excited me, and this specific route, adapting the Woman of Tomorrow storyline, a comic book I have actually read, bringing to life a not-so-traditional Supergirl and one who's more broken and actually has a lot of character development involving Krypton. Plus, you got Jason Momoa as Lobo in there, a role he's been dying to play that we just know he's gonna crush. That first trailer also seemed pretty fun and exciting. It made the DCU feel lively. The only drawback is, as excited as I am, it's funny the first movie not by James Gunn feels very inspired by James Gunn work. Guardians of the Galaxy-esque. But I'm willing to put kind of those biases and reservations aside because the director attached, Craig Gillespie, has made some pretty good movies I've enjoyed. So here's hoping Supergirl knocks that out of the park, man. Number 6 on the list, Super Mario Galaxy. Oh, you don't like it in Mario? Too bad, I do. I know some people are iffy and kind of harsh on that first animated Super Mario movie, but I had a blast with it. I thought they actually incorporated a lot of the video game-isms really well. It was just a fun romp, really well paced, where it just kind of flew through the story. And the fact now for the sequel, where I thought they would go like Super Mario World, they're instead jumping straight to Super Mario Galaxy, by far my favorite Mario game that I spent hours on playing on the Wii. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. There was even that extended trailer from the first trailer they released where they kind of show off the fight scenes with like Luigi, Bowser Jr., Mario, and I'm like, how are people so harsh on this? This looks peak. So I think it's mainly the bias of like loving the Mario Galaxy game and hoping they just adapt that in a really awesome way. Number 5 on the list, Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Date. Steven Spielberg is back, baby, and we are all going to be eating good in 2026. Seeing Steven Spielberg back in that realm of kind of like blockbuster popcorn movies, this idea of a world where it's like, hey, what if we all got told aliens are real and maybe they're living amongst us? Because you got Emily Blunt beatboxing in that trailer. Plus, I think the look of the movie is also very refreshing. Steven Spielberg's always got an eye, and you know he's going to put them lens flares everywhere. I don't know. To me, it's just exciting to see Steven Spielberg back trying to make a big movie, and I just hope it delivers, man. I feel like there's going to be a lot of discourse. It might be a divisive movie, but hey, at least it'll be something to talk about that isn't a comic book movie, right? Number 4 on the list, Scary Movies. I think this is just my love of parody films back in the day, even the bad ones like Epic Movie, and to maybe an extent Superhero Movie. I always got such a huge kick out of those, and Scary Movie franchise was the series that kind of started for me. I think they're such hilarious movies. I think it's always enjoyable to kind of poke fun at some of your favorite films. I have missed the Wayans brothers and the fact that they got creative rights back to their franchise, have the family working on it, Anna Faris and Regina Hall actually returning. Dude, I cannot wait to see Cindy act like an idiot again. Like, that's just peak comedy. Of course, I'm very afraid that the jokes are not going to land. It's going to be such an unfunny movie, not very clever, or the most surface level observation of a certain horror movie. It's like, just please be entertaining. Don't just say things for shock value. Minimize the pop culture references. Heavy on that, please. I need this to be good, man. So Scary Movie 6, a lot riding on that. All right, to the top 3 dogs now of most anticipated. Number 3. Avengers Doomsday. Not gonna lie, that X-Men trailer that just got released almost bumped this up to like number 2, close to number 1 if I'm being honest with you. But I still have some reservations, and I am still wondering if Marvel, the Russo brothers, can all pull it off. It's been a rocky couple of years. The last 2 phases haven't hit as hard, and none of that is proven more right by them kind of avoiding the past 2 phases and making a movie that's a direct sequel to Avengers Endgame. Bringing back people like Steve Rogers, the Russo brothers, Robert Downey Jr., and even the 2000s X-Men screams, we got nostalgia. Please tell me you'll buy tickets to nostalgia. And when you see James Marsden Optic Blast, and it's like, yes, I will buy tickets to nostalgia. I don't care what you say, internet. Still unconfirmed whether Tobey Maguire is even part of this movie, but just imagining some of the rumors of like Tobey, Hugh Jackman, the X-Men. I want this thing to be amazing, and I have hope it will be, but my reservations are holding me back from putting it higher. Still super excited though. Number 2 on the list, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. This is one I don't even have to do much blabbing about why it's this high. It is Christopher Nolan. Oppenheimer was one thing, and while it did feel like he actually tricked me into going to history class and being interested in the subject matter, The Odyssey, he's tricking me to go to reading literature class, but I've always been interested in Greek mythology, the story of The Odyssey, and that first trailer and prologue where you actually get to see the Cyclops, and he's huge, and he's actually leaning in some of the fantastical side, and not just going with a grounded look. It's like Christopher Nolan is about to make one of the best movies of all time. Lot riding on it. I mean, he's as high as he's ever been. The cast is also phenomenal. Jon Bernthal, Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway. You wanted to see me in a skirt for Supergirl? Nah, I'm gonna get in a medieval skirt and dress like a knight for The Odyssey. And number 1 on the list, I mean, did you even doubt it? Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's gonna be extremely hard the year a Spider-Man movie is releasing and it doesn't end up number 1 on my most anticipated list. Like, come on. But this time, I think I have real good reason. 1, we are now changing directors. Destin Daniel Cretton has stepped in, looking like he might add some sauce and flair to Tom Holland's movie. It's supposed to be kind of a rebirth, really bringing to light a different perspective with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Feels like we'll lean a little bit more into the groundedness with him actually having everyday human struggles, but still trying to balance his life as Spider-Man. I am still confused as heck about the plot, the villain, the cast of MCU characters like Punisher and Hulk. Who the heck is Sadie Sink? Is she actually playing a mutant? Definitely tons and tons of story details to get me going like, I don't know if this could work, but at the end of the day, I am nothing but a simp for Spider-Man. And he will always be one of the things I most look forward to in life. And if I'm not looking forward to a Spider-Man movie, it's because I'm not alive anymore, guys.